Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Divas That Care Network. I'm a little tongue-tied today. I'm just really excited because I've got a really great combo of amazing women that are going to actually be my guest today. It's a mother-daughter combo. So I'm just excited. I have all these things that I want to ask, and so I'm a little tongue-tied today, so I do apologize. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be an amazing show. And for any of you that have just tuned in today, thank you so much. Our show's been running now it'll be going actually into our 10th season in 2020, and we're so excited about that. We have a brand new platform that we're going to be launching in 2020 and introducing you to all of our new hosts that are going to be joining us. We're planning on having 20 hosts in 2020, so you don't want to miss any of those shows. If you've had a chance, our hashtag out there is Divas That Care. So if you see that, it usually has to do with our amazing guests that have been on the program. So as I said, I'm so excited about today's amazing women, Sarah and Madeline Kleinhans. They're my amazing guests. I've had the opportunity to interview these two ladies separately. And today they're going to be doing a joint show because they have so much to share with all of you guys. And we thought it would be a lot of fun to have that. So welcome to the show, ladies. I'm so happy to have you.
Hi. Thank you so much for having us. We're super excited.
Well, I'm super excited to have both of you. Both of you are absolutely amazing. You are divas. You are extraordinary. And you know what? I can't wait for you to share with all of us today. What I'm going to ask both of you is if you could take some time and introduce yourselves to all of our listeners today.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. My name is Madeline, and I'm 17 years old now, but pretty much just like a general idea of me, I guess, is that I really like spending time outside, and I love animals, and I'm on the show today because of my nonprofit for siblings of kids with critical illnesses, Heartfelt Hugs, and I started that when I was 12 because my brother was diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 5. So that's just kind of a little bit of a summary of me.
Hi, and I'm Sarah. I'm Madeline's mom, and I just had my 50th birthday this year. And so I am venturing into the world of the nonprofit world, having a 17-year-old boss because I'm the logistics director for my daughter. And I've been a professional actor and TV commercial actor and a model my whole life, basically since I was 16 years old. And so it was an interesting transition when my son got cancer and I couldn't work anymore. And so then I became a public speaker for the pediatric cancer world, and then Madeline started her nonprofit, and I jumped right in, and so now I work for her.
Well, you know what? Welcome, ladies, and I absolutely love the teamwork that you have going on because the two of you have done such amazing things together. You have grown Heartfelt Hugs to what it is today. You have so much going on with it. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I think that part of it is so impressive. I love family-run organizations. I always tell people I have my 4 divas, my 4 daughters, that the reason why I started my program. And we've always done things together. And I think it's such a cool thing when you're able to do things with your other family members. And the two of you, as I said, have been doing such a great job. So I want to talk about the things that Heartfelt Hugs has been doing recently. I know that we've had our shows in the past, and I want all of our listeners to really tune into some of those programs that we've had. But let's talk about what you're doing now.
Oh, thank you so much. So we are really expanding, and we're getting a lot more fundraising getting done so that we can open up the opportunities for the Heartfelt Hugs families. So when we very first started, we only did events every 2 months. So we would do like ice skating, and we'd go to the pumpkin patch, and it was kind of annual events. But now as we're getting bigger, we're able to do more things like give family sports tickets and we did like a painting party and an archery party, and we're able to do more specifically for the family. So if there's like a specific family who's in need at the time, we'll be able to support them more. We've been doing a lot more fundraisers and working with really good sponsors and really getting our name out there and trying to expand Heartfelt Hugs a lot.
I love
Candace,
that.
and if I can add, too, something that's been really neat is the support for the parents that I don't think Madeline and I realized when she first came up with the idea of Heartfelt Hugs, it was, people say, oh, your daughter is amazing. She came up with this nonprofit. And Madeline and I kind of joke about it, saying it was really selfish. We started because Madeline really felt left out when her brother got all the attention because he had 38 months of chemo straight. And so I online schooled them. The online public school is a pretty big thing out here. And so they're both schooled at home. And so it's not homeschool, though. It's online public, which means that they have teachers and they can do all the regular activities and sports and things with the schools. But so they were home all the time. And so Madeline really felt like her brother was getting all the attention. And so she started this nonprofit for the siblings. What we did not realize is how much it would really help the parents as well. And so now at each of the events, I take the parents and I go off to the side. And in the beginning, we used to do sort of icebreakers, tell us about your child or tell us about your family situation. Well, all the parents would start crying. Half of the families have lost their children. It was terrible the first day that I did it. I was like, oh, this is the worst idea ever. So now what I do is I go in and I do an icebreaker where I say, what is something that you should have gotten arrested for? Or what is one of the things, that you're most embarrassed about, that you did in high school or whatever. And we laugh and laugh and laugh. And the kids are always like, what are you guys saying over there? Because we're in hysterics. And it's really changed the dynamics, and it's so much fun because now the parents tell me, we can't wait to come to these events because we get to see all the other families, and everybody's hugging hello, and it's just so inclusive and wonderful because they don't want to go to bereavement or sad events. And it's not just an event for the kids now. It's really become a complete family event, and I love that. And that's thanks to the parents. I mean, we didn't do anything. That's the parents becoming a family and making Heartfelt Hugs really a family event.
Oh, my goodness. I absolutely love that. And I think that's so important to be able to do that. And that's why I really love the ideas that you guys have come up with. Is this something that you are, sharing with other communities so that they can start their own? Because you have it kind of in your specific area, do you not?
Yes, we do, but that's one of the things that we're actually talking about is trying to expand. So I would, in the bigger picture of Heartfelt Hugs, I would really like it to be kind of a nationwide thing because honestly, in all of the nation, Heartfelt Hugs is really one of the only things for siblings. There used to be this camp for siblings, but I think that they got shut down, and so I'm hoping that maybe a sibling or a family in another state will maybe pick up the same idea and we could expand Heartfelt Hugs, or they can even start their own organization. It's just about getting the support all around the world instead of keeping it in our general area.
Oh, I love that.
Something that's really nice. Something that's really nice that's happened too is Denver is a big sports arena area. The Broncos and the Nuggets and the Rockies, and it's a big sports town. We have paired now with this ticket group in Denver, and it's wonderful. They give us all these last minute tickets, and so we're able to have the families go to these big sporting events. We just sent a couple families to this Irish Christmas event, and we get all these last-minute tickets, which is such a huge gift. And that's something that I feel like other communities could do because corporations have box seats to these events, and they don't always use the tickets, and they go wasted. And our families, last minute, I'll shoot out a message and say, hey, I've got 12 tickets to a concert. I mean, the kids got to go to these big concerts downtown, and the families were absolutely thrilled because like Madeline was saying, we had our annual events that we do, which are really fun and everything. It's like the pumpkin patch and ice skating and things. But those a lot of times are more the younger kids. This way, we're getting all these teenagers who can come to these events, and they're cool events. They're not going to go to the pumpkin patch, but they'll go to a concert downtown, and we let them bring their friends, and it's just a reminder of how special they are. And so that's something that other communities could easily do, sort of solicit businesses and say, hey, if you have a box, can you give us, a couple tickets a year? And it just makes such a difference to these families and for the parents to know that their sibling, gets that attention while the other kid is in the hospital. They're able to go to something and feel special for that day.
That is a fantastic idea.
Thank you. And that goes along with the nationwide thing. Even if someone's not putting on like our annual events nationwide, we could still get places to donate tickets or do like smaller little parties that could even, our whole general idea is just to give the siblings love and show them that they're not alone, because I'll just give you a quick summary of actually how Heartfelt Hugs originally got started. When I was 12, there was this toy chest on the camper floor for, the critically ill children. And my brother always got to pick, and one day I had asked if I could pick a toy too, and they told me that it was just for the critically ill children. So I originally wanted to start my own, box for the siblings, and so we started collecting toys, and people were donating. And sooner than later, we just had so many toys and donations for these siblings, and we were trying to work with Children's Hospital, but there was just so many rules and regulations. It took years, and it wasn't really going anywhere. So that's when we found our mother organization, There With Care, who has been such a big help to us and such a big supporter, and their organization gives like groceries and stuff to cancer families. So we started working with them. They started sending some of their families our way, and that's when I came up with the idea for it to be like a support group, which then turned into just kind of a day to show the siblings that they had something and they were not excluded, because I did go to like a therapy group when my brother was sick, full of other siblings, and that's when I really realized that I wasn't the only one in that position.
Wow. I just love the background and how you're sharing that with all of us today, and because I think it is really important. We've I think I just think the two of you have such big hearts, and I just love what you are doing, and the name is absolutely perfect for what you are doing.
Oh, thank you so much.
The other thing that I think is neat too is like families don't necessarily, they find each other, like with the HIPAA laws and everything. I can't say like, oh, you're a new family, your child has the same thing this other family has. I can't say that, but the families kind of find each other. And I think it's really, it's special. Like nobody really, some people sit and talk about their issues, and others don't want to. But I mean, I know that like at the end of our last picnic, our summer picnic, we had just lost one of our siblings, and the family came, and it was, really impactful that they still came once they lost their critically ill child. And we had flowers up at the event, like on all the picnic tables, and we rounded them all up and gave them to the family because they were going to her gravesite right after from the event. And they said, this is so special that we're taking flowers from Heartfelt Hugs because she loved our events and all of this stuff. And so we just are able to really tie in no matter what stage the families are. Like some of the kids are newly diagnosed, and those families need love more than anything. And others, they're finished, and they can give more love or advice to the new families. And then some have lost their children, and they just need laughter that day. And so we try and bring hugs and laughter to them. So there's all different tiers that we can help now. And that's, like I said, Madeline and I didn't realize when she started this that it would really become that. And that is all thanks to these amazing families. We just planted a seed, and then these families have really taken over and created a big family. And when like Madeline said, like we had a family who was stuck in the hospital at Thanksgiving, and so we took money and we paid someone to make them a big Thanksgiving dinner and deliver it to them. Or if there's kids in the hospital, we'll send them balloons and all these little things that we're able to do now that we have more funding because she's gotten bigger. So that's been really special.
Oh, I love that. And I love that you were sharing about the trickling effect. Because isn't that amazing? It's like when one little act of kindness can do so much more. And that's what you're really doing, is that you're doing that for people. You're providing something that they need, just that little act of kindness.
And your show as well, like things like this, just getting the word out. I mean, you never know who could be listening, and someone who could help, or a family that's in need. And your support honestly means the world to us. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I love it. And you've got some things coming up here in January. What type of things are happening there?
Yes, so January is actually our big skating party. So we do that at the Louisville skating rink, and they are always so kind, and they donate their time, and they give us skate rentals for the kids, and then we also rent a room in the library that's where we do our, like, there's a library right across the street from the skating rink, so that's where we go do our lunch, and we do icebreakers and kind of get everyone a home base, and then we can walk right across the street and go ice skating with the kids, or the parents can hang out at the library while the volunteers take the kids over to go skating, because our volunteers are honestly phenomenal. Like, they're amazing.
It sounds like it. Well, it sounds
one
like
thing
so
that
much
we
fun.
do too. We made this event in January. It's our holiday party, and for twofold. One is December's so busy for everybody, and then the second thing is because then we can really stretch our dollars. And so, like today, Madeline and I, after the show, we're going to go to Walmart, and each one of the siblings gets to pick a gift of their choice. So we're going to Bath and Body and Walmart, like where they have these big after Christmas sales, and we can get, twice, 3 times the amount of gifts that we would be able to get with our money otherwise. And so we're going to buy all these gifts, and then we put them out on a table, and each one of the siblings gets to go choose what they want. And it's just such a special day, because then they feel really special, and it's a good way to ring in the new year for us.
It is wonderful. And what a great idea. I just absolutely think it's brilliant. You've got so much going on. I just want to mention, if all of our listeners haven't realized that Madeline is only 17. She is still in high school, and she's got some great plans happening for next year. And so I'm going to ask you, what is happening for you for next year?
So for next year, I actually got accepted to Up With People, which is an organization where it spreads the message of love, and you travel around the world. So you can either do 6 months or a year, and I'm going for the 6 months, and you travel around and they put on performances. So I'm not necessarily much of a singer or dancer. I can sing, though, and I can also play instruments. So I have that going for me. But you go around the world and do community service for different countries, and you just kind of help out wherever it's needed. So I'm super excited. It's an amazing opportunity that I would never get otherwise to, travel around all these different countries. And my mom did it when she was, Mom, how old were you when you went Up With People?
I was 19, and I actually stayed with them for many, many years as a staff member. And one thing that Madeline didn't mention that's really important is the other kids in her cast. She'll have a cast of about 100 kids. They are from all over the world. So it's, not religious or political. You've got kids from all over the world who just want to spread this message of peace. And they, like she said, they do community service, and they go to about 16 different host families, and they stay in each host family for a week and get to live in another community and another family and do service there, and then they get to share what their community is like and their home life and everything with people from all over the world. And when they're on the bus, they're learning other languages because their peers are from all over. So it sort of is very much, just a continuation of what Madeline's done, and it thrills me because that's what I did. I mean, that's been like 15 years of my life on and off was what I, working with Up With People.
That is so cool. It sounds like so much fun.
Thank you. And then hopefully after, so I'm only going to Up With People for 6 months, and I really can't tell you what's going to happen after because, you take life as it comes to you, honestly. But my general plan is I either want to go into the military and join the Coast Guard, or I want to go to college for forensic science and go into the CSI.
Well, I think you're going to have a great life. You have so much that you're doing, and you're going to be able to continue doing Heartfelt Hugs while you're doing. Obviously, your mom's going to be taking care of everything while you're gone.
I wouldn't be able to run Heartfelt Hugs. I guarantee you, it would not be a thing if my mom wasn't here, because I reach out to all the families, and I do a lot of the hands-on stuff with them. But as for the organization and all the logistics, that's all my mom. And she organizes, with the actual people who are helping sponsor it. And she helps, write emails to the families and anything behind the scenes. That's all my mom. So it's just the two of us running it. So
wow, you guys make a great partnership. I love it.
Thank you.
It's so funny though because I think that she has the harder job and she thinks I have the harder job because she has to go up and get the sponsors. Like she asks for the money and she goes to the schools and gets the volunteers and, she gets all the donations and I hate doing all of that. And she's so good at it and and so it works well. I'm kind of freaked out about her not being there and not being at the events because she's the face of Heartfelt Hugs. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we'll continue, obviously, but it's going to be really strange not to have Madeline around. And plus, because I've online schooled her, Madeline and Madison and I, it's just the three of us, and I'm a single mom, and we are super, super tight because we're together all the time. So it's going to be really strange not to have her. I mean, even more so than a normal family because usually kids go to school and things like that, and they're not home during the day. It is the three of us all the time together. So it's going to be really weird and very quiet without her.
It'll be quiet. But you know what? You've done a great job. Your daughter is absolutely amazing. She's doing extraordinary things. And you know what? I always say the sky's the limit, and she's going to be doing so many more great things.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, and she's going to vlog it, too. She has a YouTube channel that, like, one of her videos has, I just looked, it has, like, 2 million views on it now. So she has a following. And so she's going to vlog her travels, and so everyone will be able to follow what she does because, I mean, if you meet Madeline in person, she just says it like it is, and she's pretty funny.
Well, we'll have to follow that, Madeline. We're excited. I'll post it on our social medias because I think that'll be a fun thing to be able to keep in contact with what you're doing and follow your journey.
Yes, thank you so much.
One last thing I have to ask for you guys. What kind of last-minute tips, tools, things you'd love to share with our listeners today?
Definitely, if you feel like something needs to change in life, or if you don't like something, then instead of just sitting back and complaining about it, like actually do something about it, Even if it's just the smallest thing that you wouldn't think would matter, it does. It does to someone, or it could, because I don't know, one big thing to me in life is the butterfly effect. And a lot of people have heard of it, but, like, no one actually thinks, like, really into it, how big of a deal it is. Because the butterfly effect is, they say that a butterfly flapping its wings can cause a tsunami. And it's true. One little thing can make such a difference, whether it's just to one person or a whole bunch of people, whether it's something you say or something you do just to make their day better. It could really, really mean the world to them. So that's my advice is if, you see something, and just definitely do your best to, do what you think is right.
I love that. And that's beautiful advice.
On my end, I think that, and this is advice too to like the moms out there who are, or people in general, but like I found myself a single mom after 22 years, marriage and everything, and I found myself single with 2 kids, and my advice is there is always a second door. Like if you think you're hitting a wall, whether it be in life or relationships, friendships, fundraising, businesses or anything like that, if you're hitting a wall, turn around because there's going to be another way out. I always believe that. Like Madeline and I have, sometimes gone, how are we going to do this? There's no way we can do this. We're hitting this wall. And then we just stop and, you kind of have to change your thinking and turn around, and there is always another way that you can figure stuff out. And I have gotten myself unburied so many times. But you have to kind of step back.
Yeah, life is all about perspective. It's about your personal perspective, about other people's perspective, because everyone sees something a little bit different,
Yep.
I love it. So you two are beautiful and amazing women, and I'm just so honored that you have graced us on the Divas That Care. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for your time, too, and like Madeline said, for everything you do, because if you weren't, you find these women, and every single one of them has a story, and I think that we can learn from each other and our sisterhood, sisters before misters. So.
I love it. Thank you both so much.
Yeah, Mom, you should, before we go, you should actually tell a little bit about your candle business, because on top of my mom doing everything with Heartfelt Hugs and doing all the logistics with that, she has somehow built her own business on the side of that, where she and my brother started out making jam and earrings together. And now my mom has a whole candle line, which is hilarious if you guys want to check that out. But she somehow juggles all of that, which I don't know how.
She's an amazing woman. And actually, we were going to be posting about soulmate scents on our social media because I think it's a really fun thing, and I can't wait for people to see about it because it's a great fundraiser you were mentioning before. It's for people that want to use that.
Yeah,
yes, and it's funny, you know. Yeah.
A lot of the time, my mom's profits from all, because it's called Klein Hands Kicking Cancer is the general name of all of her products, but Soulmate Scents is the candle thing, and she helps so much. Like, we kind of pair up sometimes. She'll give the families her products or donate some of the profits from that, and it's really helpful. So.
And we laugh. That's what it's all about. It's laughter.
Yes.
I started making candles, and I just wanted people to laugh. And so when they come to my booth or my store, online store or whatever, people are in hysterics, and that's what you got to laugh every day. When you hit that wall, you got to laugh. That's the best way to get out of, tough spots.
Oh, I love it. And, we hear that a lot. Laughter is the best medicine. Thank you so much for telling me about that. You guys are beautiful and amazing. And, again, I want to thank you both for being my guest today. And I hope that you come back on the show in 2020.
We would love to.
2020 is going to be a great year.
It is.
Yay. And what we'll be doing, too, in 2020 for all of our listeners, we're going to be having a youth virtual summit. And we're hoping that Madeline will join us in that and share wisdom that she has, that she's learned from doing the things that she's doing.
I would love to. Thank you so much.
That would be wonderful. As I said, I want to thank you guys, but I want to thank all of our listeners that have been tuning in. Make sure that you send this podcast out to all your friends and family. Get to know Madeline and Sarah. They're doing some extraordinary things out there, as you've heard on today's program. I'm going to be sharing all their social media links with you so that you're able to contact them. I think it's really important. And the Soulmate Scents is actually quite hilarious. I've had the opportunity to go through all that and see the names, and you know what? It's a lot of fun. And as Sarah was mentioning, it's the laughter, and sometimes you need that in order to get over those moments. So thank you again to both of you. Thanks to all of our listeners, and make sure that you tune in to divasthatcare.com for all our latest podcasts. Thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.